All right, we are live. We are live. Let's give it a minute for everyone to file on in, and we'll look to do some damage. We got plenty to get to today, and I won't keep you long. Will not keep you long, but we'll just go over everything. So let's give them a minute because we got NFL, college football, preseason NFL, MLB, WNBA, and of course, any other gold that comes in as we fire. Now, we placed some really good bets yesterday and ended up losing a -1 on Cincinnati that closed 6.5, but still profitable over the last 7 days, slowly making up some of that ground towards our goal for 2025. Only one goal. When December 31st rolls around, to be profitable. And what did they change here? Hold on. All right, come on in so we could get going. Remember how we bet size. The rating at Wager Talk, 1% to 5%. One reason only, reflects strength. 1% weakest, 5% strongest. But it's on us to determine bet size. And if you want to turn a profit betting sports, which very few people are able to do, number one rule, bet small in relation to your bankroll. Two pieces of the puzzle, bankroll, bet size. Okay? Bankroll changes, bet size doesn't. Here's what I mean by that. Your bet size will increase as your bankroll increases, but your risk of ruin will not, because you're going to bet the same proportion of bankroll. Okay? That's the key. This, you want this to increase. This, not so much. Here's why. We start with $10,000 bankroll. Okay? We bet 0.25% of the rating. So, what's 0.25 of 4%? 1%. So, on a 4% rating, we would bet 1% of bankroll. So, $10,000 bankroll, $100 bet. Now, if that bankroll's $20,000, you're still 1%, but now it's a $200 bet. Bankroll, $50,000, still risk of ruin low, 1% of bankroll, $500 bet. So the goal is to increase this, not this. Once you start messing with this, this goes to zero. I can't explain it any easier than that. Two pieces of the puzzle. Once you figure that out, I promise you, the rest will be so much easier. Because unless you get to that level of discipline, the picks aren't going to matter. I promise you, they're not going to matter. I've had access to some of the best information in all kind of betting markets. And until I mastered how to bet size correctly, none of it mattered. It was irrelevant because the cold streak was going to come. It didn't matter how profitable of a year that particular group had. During that winning year, they had to overcome some horrific negative runs. And if you're not bet sizing correctly, what happens? You go broke during that negative run. How many has it happened to? I know it's happened to me plenty. Back in the day when I was a runner, my bankroll was in my front pocket. I didn't manage it correctly. So even though I had access to the best information, there was no way I was going to be able to be profitable. I mean, I could have a great week, a great month, even a great couple months. There were times when my pockets were fat. But the end result, the conclusion was already determined. I was going to lose my bankroll because my risk of ruin was way too high. That's not talked about enough. We always, you see free picks, free same game parlays, all this information out there. But it's all useless if you don't bet size correctly. That's more important than anything else. My recommendation for aspiring, profitable sports bettors is make it even easier on yourself until you get to that level where you can determine the strength of a play. And the best way to do that is obviously how much value you have. The more value, the bigger the bet. But how do you determine that? One of the best ways is, are you getting closing line value? The more closing line value you expect the bet get, the bigger your bet should be. Because if I'm laying -1 on Cincinnati and I'm confident it goes to 6, my -1 should be a big, big bet, right? That's obvious. Now, if I expect my -1 only to get to -2.5 or 3, obviously my bet won't be as big because I don't expect my edge, my advantage to be as great, okay? Now, until you get into that level where you can see that instantly, remove that problem from the table by simply choosing a bet size that will not break you. Here's what I'm talking about. Go 1%. How hard is that? Just go 1% on everything. Make everything a best bet. Meaning if you just have a lean, if you just feel, I like that side, let it go. Narrow down your best bets and bet them for 1%, all of them. Do it for 3 months. Do it for 6 months. I promise you, it'll open up like your eyes to how easy it is if you have access to winning information to turn it into profit if you just have the discipline to bet size correctly. And again, I tell all new bettors, 1%, stick to 1%. If you have even more discipline, stick to 0.5%. That way you're overcoming any negative stretch, but at least even with 1%, 1% of bankroll per play. Because remember, I can't stress this enough. With 400 units, so if you have 400 units, let's say you're betting $10 a game. You need $4,000 just to have a 20% risk of ruin. That's correct. Let me repeat that. If I have $4,000 and I'm only betting $10 per play, I will lose my bankroll 2 out of 10 times with winning information. That's fact. That's with 400 units. With 500 units, if I'm only betting $10 a play and I have $5,000 in my pocket, I will still lose my bankroll 1 out of 10 times. I will go broke 1 out of 10 times with winning information. That's fact. That's not opinion. That's the math. That's how it plays out. You could guarantee yourself doubling your bank 99 out of 100 times, where you only have a 1% risk of ruin. Only 1%. You will go broke only 1 out of every 100 times. You need 1,000 units to do that. So if I'm betting $10 a game, I'm only betting best bets. I'm only narrowing down my best bets, and I'm betting $10 a game. I need $10,000 in my bankroll to have a 1% risk of ruin. And even with $10,000 in my pocket, betting $10 per play, I will still lose that bankroll 1 out of 100 times. That's with 1,000 units. Now, let's be honest. How many bettors out there with $5,000 in their pocket are betting $10 per bet? Right? How many with 4,000? How many even with 1,000? Even with 1,000 are only betting $10 per bet. And those guys, what's their risk of ruin? Maybe 40%. So 6 out of 10 times they'll double their bankroll, but 4 out of 10 times they're going to lose it all. That's betting $10 a game with a dime bankroll. So if I have $1,000 and I'm betting $10 a game, I'm probably going to lose that bankroll 4 out of 10 times with winning information. I can't stress enough. That is the holy grail to being a winning sports bettor. If there's one thing I've learned, honestly, in all my years working with the sharpest sports bettors on the planet, learning from the most feared, respected blackjack players on the planet. The only thing, the one takeaway from both that matters more than anything else was bet sizing correctly. That's it. With blackjack, same thing. If you guys took the blackjack course, you know that we're working with 500 units. If we're betting, we're at a $5 table, we're spreading 5 to 50, 1x to 10x. Okay? We want $5,000 in our pocket to only have a 10% risk of ruin, where we will double our bankroll playing blackjack 9 out of 10 times, but we're going to lose it 1 out of 10. Okay? That's how it plays out. So what if I go in there knowing how to beat them, having that skill set that you see? If you go on my Twitter, you'll see. Just 2 weeks ago, I got kicked out of high limit trying to play blackjack. Okay? Just 2 weeks ago. Even with that skill set, that the eye in the sky and all the security at different casinos concluded his skill set will beat us. If we deal him cards, he will take our money. Okay? So they concluded that, which is why they don't let me play. Even with that skill set, if I went in there with only $2,000 instead of $5,000, I'd probably be at 50-50. I'll double my bank half the time, but I'll lose it half the time. But I can guarantee myself doubling it 9 out of 10 times by just being funded correctly. So with that very same skill set, with $1,000, I'm going broke more times than not. With $5,000, there's pretty much nothing they can do but end up paying me. That's a powerful position to be in. But it's on you to have the discipline to have it play out like that. Like you guys remember, those that you were in the blackjack course, and I explained to you that during that course, I had taken a 3-day staycation at a casino that gave us comps. And I had brought $2,500 with me because I was expecting to play $25 table. And I wanted to spread 25 to 250. And since I was only going to play sessions, I needed 100 units to do that. Well, when I got to that casino and I checked in, when I went down to the blackjack floor, what did I see? Every table they had on the floor was automatic shuffle, was continuous shuffle, not the automatic shuffle. It was continuous shuffle, where after every hand, they're stuffing the cards back in and it's randomly shuffling them. So you can't count. There's no advantage system you could possibly use to beat that game. So I was like, I can't play it. I have to go to high limit. Well, we went to high limit. They didn't have a $25 game. They started at 100. So now if I'm playing 100 with 2,500, I'm underfunded. With that same skill set, I'm no longer the favorite. They don't know that, okay? But that's the truth. That had I played during that 3-day staycation with that $2,500 and went in there and played $100 a hand, I was a coin flip, whether I was going to make money or lose money. With an edge, you don't want to be in that position. When you have an edge, you want to make sure you profit from it. And the only way to do that is to bet size correctly. And if you're interested in the blackjack course, I'm pretty sure Wager Talk will hook you up. If you sign up for the year, you will still get, I'll put it out there today. You will get that course. Sorry, Johnny, for putting this pressure on you, but that if you sign up for a year, you get that course. You will get that course. It's about, I think, 8 or 9, about 60 to 90-minute sessions. And I shared everything I know to beat the game. I shared little nuggets from experience that I learned that I had swore to myself I'll never share. Like, this is the kind of stuff, if I write a book, I wouldn't add into the book because I wouldn't want it to crush my edge for others to learn these little tricks. And that course has that. So anyone who learns that will have a skill set for the rest of their lives where they are the favorite over the casino. And there's nothing the casino can do about it. They could try to change the rules and make the game harder, which I explained during the course, but because of competition, they are still forced to offer good games. That's why it will continue to be beatable, because guys that play for bigger money refuse to play those kind of games where blackjack 6-5, where it's continuous shuffle. Because of that competition, we will always be able to beat that game. So if you're interested in learning a skill set that you will not need me anymore after, you will not depend on anyone but yourself. You won't have to read any books. You won't have to come back and buy anything. You want nothing. Once you learn this, it's yours to take and master. And if you don't have the bankroll today, you may 2 years from now, 5 years from now, and nothing's going to change. This system I use is the very same one I used in 2009, 2010, 2011 when I was on tour crushing blackjack games. It's the exact same, with just a little added here, a little added there. So again, I'm not pushing that. I swear to you, that wasn't the reason I'm bringing that up. But I'm bringing that up to let you know that even with something like that, which I have proven, again, I've turned profit 8 to 10 years. So obviously my sports betting's plus EV. The information I get is plus EV. That's determined. You could argue it, but numbers don't lie. In blackjack, I have visual proof. I can't play, okay? There's only one reason they don't let you play. So the reason I'm bringing that up is even with that skill set, it's the same thing with sports betting, okay? Card counter, even with that skill set, sports better, even with winning information, if not bet correctly, both of those will lose money. Just like the picks become irrelevant if I overbet, my blackjack advantage system won't matter if I overbet my edge in blackjack. It's the exact same thing. It all comes down to discipline. Every type of investment comes down to your discipline, your patience. And I promise you, I know you want picks, and we're going to get to that because I'm not going to keep you here long. I have a lot to do today. And this is a busy, busy weekend. So I'm not going to keep you here. But there's nothing more important than what I just talked about over the last 10, 15 minutes. Everything else, I promise you, is fluff. Meaning, it's great if I give you picks and you make money off it today, but you can't take that tomorrow and the day after and the day after and do anything with it. All right? That, what we just talked about, you can. That's life-changing talk right there. Because I promise you, until I actually started living what I'm talking about, I never won. I'm being honest. This is me being straight honest. I've been had access to winning information from when I was 18, 19 years old. As if you see, Philly Godfather has his book out. If you read, you'll see. I was in that racket from 18, 19 years old, working with the sharpest, most respected sports bettors on the planet. I had information back then that you can't get access to today because of the internet, and everybody ends up getting it. We were that far ahead, and I still didn't make any money. I was doing it for a decade. I came out here. I was a runner on the strip. So I was getting the information first in my earpiece. I knew they were betting that Billy Walters wanted Dallas -6 before 99% of other bettors knew about it. And I still went broke over and over and over and over again. It was the same thing. It didn't matter. Like the picks weren't going to matter. Because eventually the cold streak was going to come. And when it came, I was going to be wiped out. I was going to be wiped out. Every time I got wiped out. Every cold streak I got wiped out. They were fine. They were just fine. When the year was over, they had a great year. God bless them. I was still trying to figure out what am I doing wrong. when it's so easy what I was doing wrong. I had zero patience. Because I grew up poor, I wanted to get rich overnight. And I'm going to do it again. I'm sorry, but I have to do it again. I'm going to talk about it one more time. Why don't I look like I should be on the cover of Muscle Fitness? Why? Is it bad genetics? That's bullshit. There's one reason. I don't have the discipline. I don't eat like the guy on the cover. I don't sleep like the guy on the cover. I don't live like the guy on the cover. I don't work out like the guy on the cover. I don't do any of the things that he's done to get on that cover. So why do I deserve to look like that? Because I want to? Because I like that's my goal? I'm doing nothing for that to happen. So I don't deserve to be there. I don't deserve to look like that guy. I don't deserve to be a profitable sports bettor when I'm betting like a negative EV sports bettor. Why do I deserve to win when I'm betting like a losing bettor? Why? Why should I get lucky when I know deep down I'm doing the wrong thing? And all of you guys that are watching this right now, you're all sharp enough. You already know. You don't need me to tell you how much the bet size. You don't need me to tell you, don't bet for action. Don't bet bad numbers. Don't chase. Dude, you know that. I don't need to tell you that. But can you follow through? Like, I know I got to eat high protein, low carb diet, cut all sugars, all junk out. I know I got to get good sleep in every night, not party. I know I got to work out 6-7 days a week, hit every body part. Those are the things it takes to look like those guys. This is what it takes to be in that 0.5% that actually makes money doing something that me, you, and everyone on here loves to do. We love to bet sports. We love it. It's who we are. We like, this is what I was, when I had to fund my life elsewhere because of losing money, that's what I did with my time off. All I did was handicap and want to bet. That was the passion. But having the passion wasn't enough. It was actually having the discipline to reach that goal. And again, I didn't have it. I wasn't born with it. I wasn't taught it. I wasn't built that way. So it was a hard road for me. A lot of you guys, I'm sure it's not going to be as hard. Some of you guys are savers, so it'll be easier for you. Some of you guys are already patient. It'll be easier for you. But for those that don't have it, I'm telling you now, if you don't have it, don't waste your money doing this shit. Put your money somewhere else and do this for fun. This is coming from someone that's supposed to try to sell you packages right now. And I'm telling you, don't do that. Just bet a couple things for fun, throw in your parlay, entertain. Know you're going to have fun with it. And take the rest of that money and invest it. Put it in gold, put it in the S&P 500, put it in crypto, something, somewhere else. But don't give it to your bookie, dude. Your book don't need it, I promise you. He's got enough losing bettors. He doesn't need one more. So don't give it to him. Go to a children's hospital. Leave it there. Go. There's so many people that are in need right now. Your bookie is not in need, I promise you. He's doing just fine. He doesn't need you to overbet. Do it for yourself, dude. I'm telling you this out of love. I'm telling you this. Thank God I'm in a position right now. I'm old enough that I don't need to, I'm not bullshitting. I'm not going to sit there on social media and sell dreams that are pipe dreams and show you all this money and all this lifestyle. And all you have to do is just give me $100 a month and you could live like me. Give me $100 a month. You'll drive the same car. You'll have the same money in your pocket. You'll eat, like, seriously, that's what they're selling out there. And that's all bullshit. And I feel bad. I feel so bad, dude. I honestly, when I see all that stuff, that's why social media has destroyed the youth. Social media is a highlight reel. It's everyone's highlight reel. That's what you're competing against, highlight reels of life. It ain't true. It ain't real life. But that's what they're selling. Send me $100 a month. You'll have the same car. You'll have the same jewelry. You'll have a Rolex too. You'll fly private. You'll go on vacations. Get the fuck out of here with that nonsense. Sell that shit to somebody else. Like, you guys are sharp enough, dude, to not be buying into that shit. I'm still confused when I see like 60,000 views on the stupidest content in sports betting. I cringe when I see it. Like, it pisses me off because I can't believe that here we are in 2025 and people are still talking this stupid shit, selling these stupid pipe dreams to these young, unsophisticated, naive sports bettors that just don't understand, that don't know better, that haven't taken a step back and realized that 99.5% of anyone that tries to do this will not make money doing it. But there is a 0.5% that makes a shitload of money and has a great life doing it. That's that 0.5% that did it the right way, that has the discipline. It's like the poker players. The ones that are playing high stakes, unless they're heirs and someone left them a shitload of money, all of them started at micro stakes. Every single one of them started at small stakes. How do I know? Because I watched them. I was at the Mirage Poker Room in 1995, 1997, 1999, before poker blew up. And I saw those guys you're seeing now at final tables everywhere playing 2-5 stud. I mean, 1-5 stud, 2-5 Texas Hold'em. Those guys that you're seeing now with millions of dollars in cash, they're the few that had the discipline for micro stakes to move up. Bro, they didn't dive in high limit overnight. Again, if you can't make money with $1,000 bankroll, you're not making it with 100,000. That's fact. That's what if there's one thing I've learned in my 30 plus years betting sports, that if I can't make money off even a $500 bankroll, a $500,000 bankroll is not going to help me. It ain't going to help me. If I can't properly manage $500, the last thing I need in my life is to try to properly manage $500,000. Like, you can't even do 500 correctly. You can't do $1,000 correctly. What are you going to do when you have $1 million? You think you're going to bet that correctly? All of a sudden, you're just going to wake up and be like, now it's enough. Now I could only bet 1%. And that's a lot of money because 1% of $1 million is now 10 grand. So I'm getting 10 grand a game. That's a lot. That's enough for me. No, it isn't. Because once you have millions of dollars, 10 grand ain't shit. So it's the same thing. Money's all relative, bro. It's all relative. So if you're broke and save up 500 and mismanage that, rest assured, if you get blessed with $500,000, you're going to fuck that up too. Again, I hope it's, listen, I'm telling, this is tough love. This is me because I out of respect to you guys, not bullshitting you. This is showing respect to the almost 700 people that are here. That's what this is. This is me respecting you and not talking shit to you. That's all it is. That's all. Now we could get into today's games and this weekend's games, but none of that shit's going to matter if you don't pay attention to the first 28 minutes and 10 seconds of this session. Nothing is more important than that. Nothing. Now, let's dive in right away. Preseason football. Let's talk. Last night, okay? Losing night in preseason football. All great bets. That's going to happen. There's nothing you can do. Nothing you could do in the short term. There's going to be that randomness involved. Again, I can't control what the players are going to do. Only control you have is placing good bets. That's it. And yesterday, Cincinnati -1. Cincinnati -1.5. Cincinnati -2. Cincinnati -2.5 were phenomenal bets. Were as plus EV as you're going to get. How do I know? Because the game closed 6.5. You can't get better than that. You can't do better than that as a bettor. You can't. And I couldn't believe it when I saw someone's comment said, the only thing that matters, the getting out ahead of the market don't matter if you lose. What are you talking about? How could it not matter? If I lay -3 on team A early, and on game day, you lay -6 on team A, are you really telling me that I didn't place a better bet? And the only thing that matters is whether team A covers or not? What happens if it lands 3, 4, 5, or 6? I win or push. You lose or push. How can it not matter? Again, these are arguments that have already been settled. The fact that it's 2025 and there's anyone that's betting even more than $1 that doesn't understand that CLV is what ultimately matters, especially in these big markets where you don't have inside information. Nobody's got inside information. Who the hell's got inside information on an NFL game? The only thing you could possibly do is get out ahead of the market and hope you got a better ticket in your pocket than what it goes out at. So there's not going to be a bunch of bets you make that are great bets that don't get CLV in the NFL. Now, you could argue with me that in a smaller markets that aren't getting blasted with wise guy money, that you could find value and place a good bet without getting CLV because there's just not liquidity in that market. There's just not money in it. That to me makes sense. But tell me you're going to beat the NFL, beat NBA, beat Major League Baseball without getting CLV. That's not going to happen. In fact, that's how the sportsbook determine whether they're going to book you or not. It's funny, when people see me getting tossed out of the casino, they always ask, how much did you beat them for? Damn, how much did you take them for, Ace? How much money did you win? Do you know how many times I've been kicked out while I was losing? In fact, that video, I was down in that session. I think like $500. And I was, so I went, I was losing money and they asked me to leave. Because even though I was losing, they asked me to leave because it didn't have to do with my results, my short-term results. The casino is in the business of making money long-term. They are a business. They treat it like a business. And here's what they concluded, that if we deal this man cards, he's going to take our money because he has an edge. The fact he hasn't yet is irrelevant to them. Same thing with sports betting. You're going to get backed off, not for the amount of money you win. You see guys that win $1 million ticket, they don't get cut off. But then you see guys that for the $100 ticket, they get cut off. It's not the money you win. It's what threat do you pose to the casino? Are you placing your bets at the right time? That's how they gauged me as a blackjack player. They didn't gauge my success by how much money I beat them for. They couldn't care less. Like I said, I'm banned from Mandalay Bay, and my lifetime earnings at Mandalay Bay are minus $44,000. At that property, I've lost $44,000, and they will not let me play blackjack. How does that make sense? Because I proved to them that I'm going to beat the closing line every time I play blackjack. And they know if you're able to do that over and over again, you're going to take the money. Same thing with sports betting. If you're getting CLV, you're going to beat them long term. And if a sportsbook sees that you're continuing to get out ahead of them, they're going to back you off and limit you, irrelevant of whether you won or lost money. They could care less. That's not what they're focusing on. The only thing they're focused on is your threat, your ability to beat them. Are you capable of beating them? That's it. That's it. So with that said, all right. Bro, please stop that. Not in here, bro. I love you. I appreciate you being here, but stop the nonsense. Nobody's getting 100% fixed information. Bro, it's 2025. Don't say things like that because you may have access to a group that's winning, but if you say something like that to someone like me that has over 100 accounts right now, there's no chance I'd ever work with you because it shows me you don't understand the game yet because that's just it's not available. There's no Chinese syndicate out there with inside information to 100% of that's just foolish to think that that's even possible. Like unless they're fixing third division soccer and third division tennis, That's not happening. And if they are, you're not able to bet it anyway. Like no one's getting down on third division soccer for more than 2 weeks if you're winning. So, bro, you're approaching it the wrong way. Say that I have access to a betting syndicate that's been profitable long term. They're able to beat these accounts most. And if anyone wants to partner up with me, let's do some business. But soliciting that you have inside information from some Russian hackers that never lose because they like, that's crazy talk. I love you, bro. I say this because I like out of care. I'm not, please don't take it as disrespect. I'm not bashing or anything, but anyone with any type of experience with sharp information would run from hearing that. Like no one's going to take that seriously. Like everyone knows who the syndicates are. We know which guys are winning in baseball, who's winning in football, who's winning in college and NFL. Like those groups are well known. Are certain originators that may not, but saying there's like this boiler room in freaking Russia that's crushing major league sports is ridiculous. It's not happening. Again, they may be crushing third division cricket somewhere. And if you could get down, great. But yeah, come on. Let's be serious now. Let's be serious. All right, let's get into the action. Like I said, preseason football. Here's where we're at. Again, tonight, perfect example. We have New England -2. New England -2 subscribers, right? New England's -6.5 right now. In fact, I could get +7 at -115. I can't, that's a bet. It's a great bet. It's a great bet. Is New England going to go out there and win? I don't know. Are they going to cover? I don't know. But I know I placed a great bet. My job's done for that game. The only question I have to answer is, do I want to try to middle it? But with the total moving up, I'm losing some of that value. Like it's 33.5 was a great total to try to middle a 7-point line move. A 5-6 point line move. It's a good middle. But if a lot of points are expected, obviously it's going to lose a lot of that middling value. So yeah, we're probably just going to sit on the Washington side. Also under Cleveland, Carolina, 34. That also got some respect. So again, as subscribers know, team totals, first halves, player props, those will come closer to game time. Now, we don't get a ton in preseason, but you saw like yesterday, we got that under Seattle team total. Didn't win, but that kind of stuff comes in late. You guys know, anyone that's been with me long-term has seen those results do good on those kind of bets. And when the regular season starts, we're going to be doing those special teasers that we perfected over the last couple seasons. But tomorrow in NFL, here's what we're looking at already, okay? We have Tennessee -2. Tennessee -2. They're up to 3 -115. Very good bet. KC -1.5 and -2. And money line, KC's now -2.5 juice, even -3 at DraftKings. Okay, decent bet. Miami, Chicago over 33. That's on Sunday. That's up to 34.5 and 35. I'll take it. And then New Orleans and the Chargers under 37. So again, that's some of the early NFL action that we bet in the preseason. Excited about this preseason, of course, and more excited about the regular season, as you can see, working with all right. Major League Baseball. Haven't sent out any premiums yet in Major League Baseball, but I'll tell you who I'm looking at real quickly. If you watch Wager Talk today, I shared the early moves in Major League Baseball. Out of all of those, the two that stuck out most to me were the Yankees. I do like the Yankees trying to confirm a bet on the Yankees over Houston. And I also like Tampa Bay. I like Tampa Bay over Seattle. Looking at Tampa Bay over Seattle. Again, still a little bit early. This is some really one-sided baseball today. Miami, everybody's fading Atlanta right now, and you're being asked to lay a premium there. I mean, Atlanta, I think, opened as the favorite. They're now the nice home dog. Obviously, they're betting Milwaukee. Milwaukee's getting money pretty much each and every day. Who else they're betting, really? Oh, the over in Colorado, Arizona. It's one-sided. 100% of booked action is on the over so far. Two dogs that are sticking out, and this is always a red flag. Whenever I see, because we know the bias of most recreational bettors is favorite and over. When I see, especially money line sports, that they're taking a dog, because they're more comfortable laying favorites in money lines. When they're taking the dog, you got to pay attention. And Washington's one of their dogs that they're betting. And the other dog was also, where was it? Kansas City over Minnesota. Those are two dogs that I'm seeing a ton of one-sided action, a ton of it. So be cautious there. WNBA, nothing really to share. I had 4% best bet. I've been very selective with WNBA. I don't handicap it. The only time I release it is when I see multiple groups on the same side. So the two groups I trust most when it comes to hoops, if they're both betting the same WNBA play, I'm feeling pretty good about it. So far this year, I've given it's only happened 40 times. They've hit 67%, up over 30 plus units, and 29% ROI. So we're very selective with that WNBA. Like I said, the only time I'm ever releasing it, it's got to be both groups on it. Today, they fell on one game. So that's up for you guys at Wager Talk. What else can I share in WNBA? It's about it. I mean, Minnesota's getting a lot of public money. That's why it's moving up. It's not Sharp that went from 9.5 to 10 to 10.5. That's all public money. Minnesota's, again, it's WNBA, so it's not attracting a ton of action, but it's enough to make the books move. And since they haven't gotten Sharp opposite it, they're comfortable moving it up half point. Like, that's why when you don't see a big move like that, then they're cautious to see if Sharps are going to come in on the other side. Like, if we get to 10.5, are they going to come in? If we get to 11, are they going to take the dog? So they're pushing half point. Like, if Minnesota was a steam move, they'd have went from 9.5 to 11. Boom, one hit. At least from 9.5 to 10.5 in one move. It wouldn't have went from 10 to 10.5 to 11. It's not going to happen. Not in a sport like WNBA. Rest assured. If there's a steam move, if a betting syndicate gets down, they're going to get respect. Like, the market's going to reflect it. Even if they go off screen, like we did this morning with that side. We went off screen, which is why it didn't move significantly. But you still start to notice that even on the screen it moves, because not everybody follows the rules. I mean, you can't police everybody. And unfortunately, not all of us follow the rules. I'm pretty good at following the rules. If they tell me don't bet this on screen, I never do it. I always make sure I'm not doing it on screen. All right. Now, I'm going to look at UFC a little bit too, and then see any questions or comments that you want to go over, and we'll take it from there. Because I got work to do. I got baseball to get into, and I got more MMA to handle. All right, let's go. Let's pull up the UFC card. And if you check Instagram, Greek_Gambler, or TikTok, Greek_Gambler 7, You'll see I've been giving out free plays on there, free premium plays. It's not me. I don't control any of the social media, but I told my girl, I need you to be on it for this entire football season. Like, I don't even want to touch it at all. You want free plays, just say it. And I always have stuff. You want education, say it. I always have stuff. So make sure you check those out because you'll get some good shit. So let's look at, hold on, Gene. 20 Orioles. Let me see, buddy. Yep. Great call, Gene. Because that was public money. Even though it's early and usually you expect it to be more sharper money on it, the fact it wasn't on that key number, like it wasn't at 8.5 going to 9, or from 9 going off of 9 to 9.5. So you see that 9.5 slowly go to 10, like trickle to 10. Yeah, it's slowly but surely being public money coming in. And on that game, almost 9 out of 10 bets so far from recreational accounts are on the over. So that's definitely what pushing it up. Great call there. All right, let's get UFC. UFC, so I don't keep you guys here long. Ready? And now I'll go through the accounts one more time. All right, so let's pull up that UFC card. Start at the bottom. McConaughey Brundage. I like McConaughey here. This line moved all over the place. Here's what I believe. I have confidence in the guys down on BetOnline that actually opened McConaughey as the favorite. It flipped, obviously, Brundage with the UFC experience, with the stronger strength of schedule. But I'm not afraid of that sharp early money on the Brundage side. Listen, if you got Brundage as a dog, I could see it. But Brundage as a favorite, to me, just doesn't make sense. He's a 500 fighter at best. Whether you look over his last 5-6 fights or whether you zoom out over his UFC career, he's a 500 fighter. Last thing I want to be doing is laying 160s, 170s, 180s on a 500 fighter, especially against an unknown like McConaughey. I mean, you look at McConaughey, short notice, first fight in the UFC against a really, really tough guy they gave him, okay? So this is a step down for McConaughey. I like McConaughey there. I also like the under, but I can tell you there has been opposites. There has been sharp money on the over. So disagreement there. Urbina and Medic. Medic should win this fight, but there's no confidence. How can you lay minus 400 with Uros Medic? I mean, Urbina's tough. His record should be better than what it is based on his skill set. Like, that's a fighting family. You know what I mean? Like, those guys are all good. They're just not great. It's weird. All good skill sets. It's tough to gauge. But there's zero chance I'd lay 400 on Medic. Fernandez, Stoliarenko. Again, Fernandez is going to win this fight. Probably going to get a finish as well. But another line that's way too high. Minus 400, 450. I'd dog or pass all day there. Why would I want to lay that on Fernandez? Who else? Oh, Edwards and Cachoeira. I like Edwards here. I also like the under. Listen, Cachoeira's got some pop. So, she could score a knockout. Obviously, she's got some power. But I think Edwards is able to avoid that. She's got reach. She's got age advantage. I think she's able to just take her down, get on top of her, and lights out. I think Edwards, it seems square, but I think Edwards is the side. Elijah Smith and Kazama. Smith, at that age, he's like 21 years old. Pedigree, his father was a UFC fighter. You're going to see improvements from him from fight to fight. Astronomical. Like, that's why from 25 and under is the highest win percentage in UFC. Because those guys, the improvements that they make, they're still learning. When you're up in those 30s, 28, 29, 30. They say you're in your prime because their tool belt's filled. Like, now it's just a matter of refining them and practicing everything and being in shape. because they already have the skill set. Like the tool belt's already packed with tools. They're ready to go. But at 21, 22 in the UFC, you're getting new coaches all the time. You're getting new bodies in there to spar against. Your nutrition's changing. Like all that stuff's starting to happen because you're now in the UFC. You're now fighting as a pro at that level. You're now making more money. You now have a team around you. Like all that is why you see huge leaps in how good someone like Elijah Smith can be. The fact he hasn't gotten a finish yet, it's tough outs. He fought freaking Vince Morales. Morales has lost like 5 straight fights, but he just doesn't get finished. In fact, the only time he ever got finished in the UFC was when he got subbed on the Contender Series. That's it. Like he's a tough, David, my man, welcome to the party, brother. He's a tough out. So yeah, don't let that fool you. Elijah Smith's legit. Julius Walker, it's a walk in the park. He sounds, I don't mean to be that guy, but this is an easy fight for Walker. He got that split decision loss against Menefield. You remember that was on 10 days notice, and they threw him in against Menefield, and he fought him to a split decision. Menefield with all that experience, so they threw him a bone here. They gave him an 0-2 fighter that's been knocked out in the first round both times. Walker's going to look good. He's going to go out there. He's going to get the W, probably by knockout, get the finish. Leroy Duncan and Eric Anders. Anders is just so awkward and unpredictable. Like out of nowhere now, he's won 2 straight fights, but it was against Weidman and Pickett. Or otherwise, he'd have 1 win dating back to 2021, and that would have been against Kyle Dawkins. In a fight that, it was, again, man, it's so tough to gauge Anders. And Duncan's pretty much done nothing wrong except for that decision loss to Rodriguez, because Rodriguez was able to take him down. That's the bottom line. He secured 4 takedowns, and he controlled them for 8.5 minutes. That's winning 2 rounds right there. It's hard to lose. But you can't expect Anders isn't going to be able to do that. He's not going to be able to take him down and control him and hold him there for 2 out of the 3 rounds. So Duncan gets that win. Miles Johns and Matsumoto. I like Johns, man. I think he's live in this spot. John's dangerous, dude. Now, I will say there has been some sharp money opposite me that does like the Matsumoto side. I haven't bet Johns yet. I did on the UFC on the line. If you watched that show yesterday, I threw him in a little parlay. Again, I just think Johns is just so well-rounded. He's such a tough out. He has so much experience. He's only got 1 loss in his last 5 fights. Like as a dog, I don't mind backing him here. I really don't. Against a Matsumoto, who was coming off his first UFC win. His first UFC loss by split to Rob Font. Everyone expects him to bounce back, but it's not going to be that easy. Not against Miles John. Then Andre Fili, Christian Rodriguez. Now, C-Rod, he's as tough as they come. He's just methodical, all workmanlike, nothing sexy, but he just gets the job done. The guy, when he's expected to lose, he's gotten it done. Well, here he's a favorite. He's against Andre Fili. The problem for Rodriguez is he's going to have to wrestle to beat Fili, okay? It's going to be tough to take down Fili and control him because let's not forget, Fili was at Alpha Male for how many years? So if he hasn't faced takedown attempts, nobody has. Like being at Alpha Male with nothing but those wrestlers, he's had to go up against a lot of takedown artists. I don't think C-Rod's going to have a lot of success wrestling. If that's the case and Fili's able to keep this standing, he wins this fight. He fights long. I like he fights from a distance. He uses his reach well. He's going to have 3 inches of reach here on Rodriguez. Give me Fili. Angela Hill and Lucinda. I'll tell you now, I bet Angela Hill already. I don't like the age difference. When you get up over those 10, 15 years, 7 out of 10 times they lose. 7 out of 10 times they do lose, the older fighter. But with Angela Hill, we've seen one thing is she's defied that age. She's defied it. She's now won 3 of her last 4 fights. She's now won 5 of her last 7 fights. So if anything, she's kind of coming into her own at this point in her career. A lot of experience. If she's able to take Lucindo down and Lucindo can't keep this standing, I think she's going to create some problem for Lucindo. I like Hill. I like Hill by decision even more. being able to get her at 2-1, she's got to win this fight 1 out of 3 times for me to break even at plus 200. I think she's more than capable to do that. This one's favored to go to the judges at about minus 600. So there's about over 80%, 90% chance that the judges decide this one. Do you really want to be sitting on a favorite of minus 200 plus when these judges have to decide who wins in an Angela Hill fight, which is always split decision? Not me. It's Angela Hill or pass. Urseg and Osborne, bad spot for Osborne. He's coming in off a win, so he doesn't have any of that pressure to get the W. Short notice. Those short notice fighters don't do all that well. And Urseg moving up the bantamweight. I think he's going to pack some power now as well. And I like what I heard at Urseg. Usually I don't put any stock in it because you can't quantify that. And they all going to say the right things in interviews. But I like that he's approaching this as, dude, I lost 3 straight fights. My job's on the line. And more importantly, I'm tired of just competing with these guys. I want to start beating them because you know his potential. He got a title fight after his 3rd UFC fight. So the potential was there. The UFC expected him to be a top 3 guy at flyweight, which is why they gave him a title fight that he almost won after his 3rd UFC fight. But since then, he's lost 3 straight. I think this is a good fight for him to look good, to get out there, get a finish over Ode early. You know, Ode, whether he wins or loses, it's probably going to end in the 1st round. I like Urseg inside the distance. I see minus 130s, as low as minus 130s to take Urseg inside the distance. So I like that. And what else? Main event. I like Fluffy, man. Listen, I know Dolidze has some power, but Fluffy's just too tenacious. And I don't want to get out ahead of that momentum right now. That man's won 7 straight fights, finally getting some respect from the betting market. And I think he's going to put a pace on Dolidze. He'll put a pace on him. And with his grappling, he secures 6+ takedowns per 15 minutes. And he attempts how many per 5? Like, he's going to keep coming. He's going to keep coming at Dolidze. And I think Fluffy knows how big of a fight this is for him. Main event, good spot. I like Fluffy. I think it's his fight to lose. And hold on, one more thing. Yeah, Urseg inside the distance, minus 130 right now at Unibet. Minus 130 right now at Unibet. Let's go. Let's get to 1,000. Let's get to 1,000. And I'll get you the next week. Hamzat Chimaev and Dracus Duplessis for the middleweight strap. Big fight in Chi-Town. I can't wait for that one. Oh, what do I got here? Hold on. Sorry, boys. I think, what do we? Oh. Subscribers, you're about to get happy. I just received 5 college football week 1 moves. I swear to you. I'm going to give you one right now. I'll give you one for free right now. Subscribers, you're about to get, well, I'm going to confirm first, but you'll probably get at least 4 or 5, if not all. This is my College Football Connect. So, yeah. Oh, boy. I'm going to give you one free right now from his list. All right, they're firing college football. You may want to pay attention to line moves today. If his group's getting out there and putting in work, it's going to reflect it in the lines. I'll tell you that. All right. Ooh, that's a winner. Not so sure about that one. Not so sure about that one. That's a winner. That's a winner. All right. I'm going to give you a dog right now. Big dog. But here we go. I'm going to put it in the system as well. We'll bet it together. You ready? Hold on. Let me set up my accounts because once we bet it, These lines may do some dancing. All right. All right, where's football? Let's see what, I got to give you guys a fair line. All right, we're going to go. Ready? 4% play, 4%. That's 1% of bankroll. Game 175, Saturday, August 30th. Ooh, I think this is our third premium for week 1 college football. Can you dig it? We're going to take game 175, Old Dominion, plus 23.5, minus 110. 4% through plus 23, minus 110. You guys, if you agree and you want to piggyback, you should be able to get this. No problem at all. No problem at all. Week 1 Saturday college football. That pass is already up. Now it's getting its third 4% play. Yes. Let's go. I hate when people say that. I can't believe I just said that. The let's go people, it's not me. I don't like it. Sorry. All right, I'm going to put this bet in. I'll get you guys out of here. I got to get to the supermarket. I got shit to do. I got things to do, people to see, places to go. Oh, babe. We got business. All right, let's get this. Let's get this in there. Welcome. Welcome, brother. Where'd my man go? Here I was trying to welcome a new member, and what do we lose? Let me get that bet in real quick. ODU. Old Dominion, baby, plus 23.5. Oh, my man's got plus 24. Plus 24. That's why you got to have outs. Like now off a square book, I just got plus 24 instead of 23.5. People say, it's a half point. If it wins, it's going to win. No, man, that don't mean shit. I love it. That's a good number. That's a good number. And what I do is I let them know. When I get them down at my plus 24, even though they asked for 23.5, I let them know. No. I got you 24. I got you 24. Don't you worry. Because if you're a sports bettor, you got to have, karma. You never want to cheat your book. You never want to cheat the groups you're moving for. Like even if you get a half point better, sometimes I'll get even a point better where they want a game at like -8 or like -9, let's say. And I have one square book that still has it at -8. And I'll get them down at -8 for some of the money. And I'll always let them know like 500 of it or 1,000 of it's at -8, not 9. And that's sometimes it'll land there and I could have kept that money in my pocket. But dude, as a sport, you don't want that in your life. I promise you. That it's like I don't do it for that reason, but it's like charity. When I've always made the most money, the times I was most charitable. Like the times in my life where I gave the most to Children's Hospital, to the ASPCA, to the Humane Society, to 3 Square. Like whenever I've given the most to those charities that I believe in, I've always been rewarded 3-fold, 4-fold, 5-fold. And again, that isn't a reason to do it, but it does turn out that way, man. Like the universe, for whatever reason, is karmic. And you put good out, you get good. You put out bad, you get shit. It's so true. Thank you, Rico. Thank you, Rico. Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. This life's temporary, bro. We're not here long. We're not here long. We don't know how long we're going to be. My father was only here 52 years. That's it. That's it. Like, you don't know. You don't know how long you're going to be here. But there's something better waiting for you. That's the faith we have to have, right? That's the belief that gets us through the day. And for myself, that's been my salvation. I'll tell you that. That's been my salvation. Whenever having a hard day, whenever you don't have the answers, whenever things are tough, I just flip open my Bible, read 2 pages of the New Testament, and all of a sudden life just starts to make sense again. Like, okay, this is where we're supposed to be. Very basic. We've made shit too difficult. We put too many distractions, too much evil surrounding us. We need to simplify our lives. And when we simplify it, good things happen. When we go on a good path, wow, it's so surprising that bad shit don't happen to you. I'm not saying nothing bad ever going to happen to you. But what I mean is, it's like they say with, show me your friends, I'll tell you who you are. You know what I mean? Show me the 5 people closest to you and I'll tell you your future. It's like that. If the 5 people closest to you are all wealthier than you, you're probably going to become wealthy. If the 5 people closest to you are more broke than you, you're probably going to stay at that level. You know what I mean? And it's like, yeah, if your 3 closest friends are scumbags, rest assured, you may have a little scumbag in you. Got to keep it real, bro. I've been there. Let's keep it real. If your 5 closest friends are scumbags, you may have a little bit of that in you too. That's how, nothing is truer than that. My father always used to tell me, show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are. Don't ever forget that, son. Don't ever forget that. And that's proved so true. So true. So be careful who you let around you, bro. Nothing's more important than who you surround yourself by. When you're young, you don't have a choice. It's the kids you go to school with. It's the kids that live next door to you. Like, you don't really have much of a choice. But as you become an adult, you do have a choice. And unfortunately, you're going to have to leave some people behind if you want to better your life. If you want to improve your lot, as they say, you're going to have to leave some people behind because not everybody's on the same page as you. And that's not your fault. You can't hold yourself back just because others aren't ready. That's what I've learned. So got to keep it real, baby. Got to keep it real. That's what I love to hear. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's what we're here for, man. Dude, it's scary, bro. Life is hard. Everybody acts all confident and how they got it all figured out. Dude, all of us are scared. All of us are terrified. All of us want to go to heaven, but none of us want to die. I mean, think how confusing that is. I mean, just think of some of that shit. You know what I mean? We all want to go to heaven, but none of us want to die. Like it's so strange, right? Again, life is scary, bro. Life is scary. If you're lucky, you have some people around you to help you get through it because it's hard getting through it on your own. But it's just real, bro. That's why you need people to talk to that have the balls to be honest, that could swallow their pride, that could swallow their ego and actually be honest and share some of their life experiences to maybe, help others avoid. Because, dude, I made every mistake you could make. Like, that's the one thing why I like to talk to young people is not to inspire them, but to warn them in a good way. Like, bro, I made those mistakes. Like, you could avoid so much heartache, so much headache, so much stress if you just don't do these things, if you just do these things instead. Like, again, man, nothing like life experience, nothing like life experience. That's the bottom line. I love you guys. I do. I appreciate you, man. I do. I love you. Again, not everybody, you don't have, in fact, you shouldn't. You should disagree with a lot of what I say, have your own opinion, just like you should disagree with a lot of my picks. They're 50-50. You should disagree. None of us are 100%. You know what I mean? Like, I always joke around, like, I'm 100% right 55% of the time. You know what I mean? That's my life story. I'm 100% correct about 55% of the time. That's it. That's what you could expect. Anyone that tells you they're going to do more than that's bullshit, bro. They're going to have good months or, but you can't sustain that forever. Let's keep it real. We've all been doing this long enough, man, that we know what's bullshit. We know what's real. Let's get through these accounts one more time. Let me see if I got anything good for you guys. Anything fresh to share. Over in the Bears, anytime they see that 33, they're betting it. They're going over that 33 any chance. I like seeing that. Any 33, they're going over. And okay. You ready? Oh boy, we got plays. Hold on. Class has got to go on. I can't believe we're doing this right now. Hold on. All right. You ready? This is a play for tonight. I'm about to give you a NFL play for tonight. Can you dig it? I love you guys. And then I'll get you out of here. Because like I said, I got shit to do, man. I still got to go to the supermarket, if you can believe that. And then come back and handicap. Who the hell goes to the supermarket in the middle of the afternoon? But what choice do I have? Oh, if I tell you guys this story, you're not going to believe it. Of what happened to me 2 nights ago, bro, I got to share this with you. I got to ask my girl, see if it's okay for me to share it. Hold on. You're going to want to hear this crazy shit. I can't even make this up. Hold on. All right. We are going Washington, New England, game 113. First half. Hold on. I'm just determining how big I'm going to get it to you for. So slow down. Slow your roll. All right. 3% play. Over 19.5 first half. New England, Washington. Over 19.5 first half. All right. Let me bet that. You guys got it before I bet it. All right, so we're going over 19.5 minus 115. Over 19.5 minus 115. Ooh, the sharp book went to 20. I like it. Ooh, 2 sharp books are at 20. Good to 125, Tony. Good to 125, my friend. Ooh, let's go. Could I sneak anything else for you out of here? Nah. That's it. The only other that sticks out a little bit is Carolina first half. Carolina first half minus 5.5. Carolina first half. All right. Babe. No, forget it. I ain't going to. No. I was going to say, nothing. I was going to share the crazy story from the other night.
With me?
Yeah.
Just tell them.
I think, no, there's kids around too. We'll save that for the next one. The most craziest experience ever happened to me in my life the other night. Scared the shit out of me. Ended up in an emergency room, not me. And make a long story short, after walking out of the emergency room, some dude had thrown a rock through a car window, our car window, the driver's side window, and proceeded to ravage and steal shit in my girl's car. So that was one of the crazier nights that how we got to the hospital. It's for another, crazy shit. Couldn't make this shit up. Can't make it up. Wow. You ready to go, babe?
Yeah, I'm getting ready.
Awesome. Yeah, we're done here too. All right. Love you guys, man. Appreciate you. Whether you follow or fade, I really do. I hope you make money. I hope you do some damage. I really do. I hope all you guys do some damage and take your books' money and make some money this weekend. Thank you, Rico. Thank you, boys. Eric, Jewish Better, you know you're one of my favorites, bro. I hope we're right with Meconico. I know there's a little sharp against me, but we'll see what happens. Thank you, Cam. Thank all you guys. Seriously, I appreciate all 1,000 of you guys here. Great little steam room today. Hopefully you got some actionable information to make a little bit of money. And again, we learn off each other, man. Support each other. God bless you guys. Be safe. Have a great weekend with your family. And more than anything else, again, I appreciate you guys allowing me to do something that I love more than anything in the world. Like it's my identity, and I get to do that because of you guys. So thank you, and being able to share all those experiences, and hopefully you guys don't make a lot of the same mistakes I did, and you become successful a lot earlier than I did. Because I should have been better earlier, man. I really should have done better earlier than I did. I was my own worst nightmare, in a sense. And I think that's true for most of us. We're our own inner demon. And, I guess it's just shit we got to figure out throughout this lifetime that we have. But I hope you guys figure it out a lot sooner than I did. And again, if you need anything, bro, reach out. Honestly, you ever just need somebody to talk to? You ever, when you know what I'm talking about, she gets really, 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 really bad, because I've been there. Where I've been in the real dark places, mentally and shit. So don't ever have any shame in that. Reach out to somebody. So you'll feel so much better after you talk. I promise you. You will feel so much better after you talk. Because when you bottle everything inside, you're going through so many things in your head, you're not going to feel better. You're not going to play it. But if you get to speak it out and have it bounce off somebody, I promise you, you'll feel so much better. Don't ever feel alone, bro. Remember, like I said, we're all going through the same shit, all trying to figure it out, brother. I love you guys, ladies, men, all of you. Keep doing damage. Crush it. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. And crush it, baby. Love you.